I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Like there's no reason why that car scene should have gone that long.
Yeah, as soon as Chucky stabbed the knife and you're like, he's weaponless, and you see him walk on the other side of the car, it's like, that's your opportunity to just get out the car and kick that little shit. Like just score a field goal with this motherfucker. Like
facts. Kick that motherfucker.
Step on the brake. Toss it in neutral.
Right?
Why are you accelerating down the road? He's making turns. He's driving through the city.
all right. So Tony, why don't you explain to the good people that have endured 27 minutes of this nonsense why we watch so many movies this week?
Well, to all the fans and stuff, we watched all these movies because we're holding a tournament style win and lose bracket. So we got 10 movies on the list. The first one,
Eight. We got 8.
is 8. Oh, I apologize. 8 movies on the list. I could have sworn I read 10 somewhere. We got 8 movies on the list.
What's a win or lose bracket? Like, what alternatives are there?
There's only one winner, and the rest are losers.
Okay, I've never heard of
Win
it.
and lose brackets.
Okay.
Because there's going to be a bracket for the losers, just for the losers that I'm going to just shit on after the end of this.
I really wanted to do a write-up for Tony to read to intro this, but I thought it would be better if he just went off the cuff.
Yo, everything I do is off the cuff, bro. That shit is natural, nigga. Natural. I gotta stop.
I was gonna make it real corny. I was gonna make him say spookity ookity.
I would have read that shit and just straight beeped right over that shit and added my own flang to it, like that fucking hot fire spirit follow website shit that you always say. Anyways,
Tony would have been like Bill O'Reilly. There's no words there. There's no fucking words. Spookity ookity? What does that mean? What is that?
who wrote this dumb shit? All right. So we got Alien, the original from 1979, and Mateo picked that. We got Evil Dead 2 from also 1987, the original. Pucho picked that. And we got The Thing, the original 1982. Doughboy picked that one as well. I don't know why I said as well. Like he had another selection beforehand.
Yeah, you did it twice.
Yeah,
you said the
twice.
year also in 19, and it's like, no, you just said 89, now 87. It's all
on a 19 thing. It's a 19
all
thing.
fucked up. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. You know who picked that? The man with the plan, the giraffe, me. And then we got It Follows by Mateo as well. Split by Pucho. Texas Chainsaw by Doe. And then, of course, Child's Play, the first one, the original, by me. So what we're going to do, we watched it all throughout the week. Some of us in like the matter of 3 days. Some in 4, some beginning. But we're going to do heads up play. And the last one obviously wins. We're going to go, I guess, bracket per bracket. First up, we got Child's Play and Texas Chainsaw. Then we got It Follows versus Nightmare on Elm Street, The Thing versus Evil Dead 2, and then Alien versus Split. We're going to go to each one, whys and why nots, and then we're going to take a vote.
Yo.
Yep.
And see
I'm
who moves on.
excited.
Are you excited?
Can't contain myself.
So we're giving 10 minutes per matchup, and then we're going to vote. Even if it's mid conversation, we're going to cut, and we're going straight to vote.
Yeah.
My God. Wait, what's the first movie?
The first matchup, which Tony will announce.
Yeah.
He just announced it. But
I announced it, but I'll re-announce it for you since you are. Why are you fucking okay right now, my nigga?
You went to announce it, and then you proceeded to announce every single matchup. So I was like, actually, I don't know which one it was.
I got notes.
I gave the whole verse tier out here. The first matchup. Ding, ding, ding. Child's Play versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Woo.
Go ahead, though, Mr. Full of excitement over here.
All right. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Very slow build up. I like the movie because I like when movies kind of build up and then the apex, like when the chainsaw dude comes out and whips up that metal door. I'm like, oh shit! Yo, I thought they were saved. They found the generator, gasoline, problem solved, right, guys? Yo, what do these guys even need a generator for? Yo, that's insane. I'm gonna say it now. I don't like the theme that horror movies have, an all white cast. I know these movies are back in the 70s and shit like that, but this whole whites only horror shit was really apparent to me in a lot of these movies. I'm like, what is this? White plight? Like, yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm like, this is the white experience. Like, every white person's like, I wonder what I would do in this situation. I just don't get it, bro. Every movie
Shit.
that every
Shit. Doey's right. We have 2 movies with people of color in them in the main cast.
yeah, and those movies were better because of it, in my opinion. The flavor, it's just an air that black people have, and I'm not gonna say like not like, and I don't know. It's just something that they bring to movies. The comedic element. When they're not in movies, in my opinion, it's not a good thing. It makes the movie stale. So I would say that this movie had that problem. I wanted the wheelchair guy to die right in the beginning. He was just the worst character. Annoying. I thought that the set pieces were very well done. How big do you guys think Chainsaw Guy is? How tall?
6'6".
Huh?
6'6". That's my guess.
At the minimum. 6'4", 6'6", something like that.
He's a big guy.
He was a
bro.
bit. You saw he swung that sledgehammer like if it was a single man's hammer. Dude was big.
Grandpa was gonna kill that girl eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one scene was so fucking weird. It looked like the grandpa was dead. Then it looked like the grandpa was alive, sucking on her finger. But then he was like dead again. It was so strange. I don't know if she was going crazy or what the fuck was going on, or if he was really alive with like wearing skin or something like that.
I found all that shit mad. Like, I think God, I'm gonna watch it ever again. To be honest.
Yeah.
I like the newer version of Texas Chainsaw because it's not such a slow buildup. It's a little bit faster.
But I got y'all remember that old man that would dance with the
oh my god, Six Flags.
Those are the vibes I got with that grandpa.
He certainly looked that way. I loved both movies had a good twist. And it wasn't one of the twists. One is a twist to the audience. The other one was a twist to the characters. So in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, homegirl finally escapes, makes it to the gas station, and the guy at the gas station is going to save her. And it turns out the gas station guy is just Leatherface's dad, and he takes her right back to the house. And that's like a holy shit, this is not over. The saddest part of that movie is the black man who comes out of the semi truck to help her. And when he sees that chainsaw man, he goes, oh, and he starts running. He runs off on foot. I think they kill his ass.
No, he's still running, dude.
Yeah, he's still running to this day, probably. No. And then in Child's Play, which I shot on the movie, it's not a great movie, but it's better than I remember.
Same.
I loved the way that they finally convinced the mom that this doll is alive. Whereas she goes to pick up the box and the batteries fall out of the box and she realizes they never put the battery in the doll. And it's like, oh shit, it finally, it feels good because like you're watching this movie, you see this fucking doll in action and you're like, what the fuck is going to happen that's going to convince these people that this thing is real? And I love the battery was a good touch.
Such a good way to like, oh shit.
Yeah, you can see it all on her. It just takes over. It's like, oh shit, like, oh yeah, this is real.
Feel like Child's Play has aged better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In my opinion,
100%.
It's a much more watchable movie. I like the suspense that I got from it. I like that I was like, I kind of was like nervous. I hated Andy. Such a
Damn.
shitty child actor.
I really enjoyed the practical effects in that movie.
Yes.
It was really good at some parts. Like his little face would like scrunch up with rage, and I enjoyed that. I thought that was incredibly well done. I remember the movie being way worse than it actually was.
I want to watch part 2 now.
How did that child go through that entire city and no adult ever stopped him? And was like,
Not
where you going,
one.
kid?
Yo,
Not
South
one.
side of Chicago? Nobody was like, who's this little white child getting off on the south side of Chicago?
That's where all the black actors are at. They were like, yo, leave that Blanquito alone. That's none of our business. Keep it pushing.
It was the 80s, man. Nobody cared about nobody in the 80s. It was a different time.
Yeah, definitely
nuts.
was.
But I think the reason Chucky might feel like it aged better is because it's the late 80s where Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, an early 70s movie pretty much. Like it predates cinema as we know it growing up. So it just feel, but I don't know. I thought Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a fine movie. And it for me was far more suspenseful. Once everything started going, like once the
Once it
action
started going, yeah.
it was like I was tense the whole time because I'm like, this is horrible. Like it's unimaginable. Like
It's hard for me to get tense with these old ones. Like even watching some of the other movies, I was just like, this shit is so fake. But me and that, like watching it for the first time young, I would have been like, holy fuck. But now it's just like, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like I lost the fearness out of it.
That car scene, I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Like there's no reason why that car scene should have gone that long.
yeah, as soon as Chucky stabbed the knife and you're like, he's weaponless, and you see him walk on the other side of the car, it's like, that's your opportunity to just get out the car and kick that little shit. Like just score a field goal with this motherfucker. Like
Facts. Kick that
Step on the brake, toss it in neutral.
Right?
Why are you accelerating down the road? He's making turns. He's driving through the city.
Mad nervous, bro. I'm like, yo, there's just a lot of dumb shit I would have done to that thing to kill it off rip.
Also, that guy that was super scary and he just was shooting everywhere in his house. I'm like, yo, what is this?
Yeah.
He saw a little kid. He saw a little kid outside. He's like, "Oh, fuck this! I'm gonna keep shooting."
Man, that boy heard gunshots and he ran towards them.
yeah, I saw that shit and I'm like, this motherfucker ain't from the hood. All right. Yo, my grandmother, when we were growing up, we'd hear gunshots and my grandmother would slam us to the ground like it was a Vietnam movie. Like we'd hit the deck all hard. Like my grandmother's like, yo, y'all kids ain't getting shot on my watch, all right? And when that motherfucker heard the gunshots, she's like, Chucky. And he runs to the house. I'm like, this kid don't know shit about life.
Mind you, that guy shooting up the whole house. That shit reminds me of some shit. If Doughboy was a gun owner in a house mad nervous, I feel like Doughboy would shoot up his whole fucking house. Just fucking poor fucking cat starts running around. Holy shit! Blow, blow! Just start blasting at everything. That's what I pictured though. That's what I pictured.
Never shoot at my cat.
No, I don't. In the middle of the night? Yeah, you would.
In the middle of the night, I would not. No.
Do we need to go to the Texas Chainsaw barbecue joint when you're all in town?
I would love to.
It's just down the road. It's like
it's a theme. It's a theme thing.
It's a gas station from the movie.
No, I'm good.
And they serve barbecue there now.
I'm
Tony's
good.
scared.
Tony's
a fucking scaredy cat.
I don't play that. I don't play these games. These are these things. This is why people, when they watch movies, be like, "Yo, that's some." Not even trying to be racist. That's some white people shit to go and investigate. Us people would have been out. No asking questions. That's how I am right now. I'm not going over there.
That was 100% one of our comments when we were watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they just started wandering through someone's property.
Yo, when they're on the fucking porch and he steps on something like a pebble, he goes and he looks at the tooth and he's like, turns around and proceeds to knock on the door. I'm like, get the fuck out of there! What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
you
like,
don't do that. And then when he opened the door and it was all furs and they just keep walking, I'm like, these motherfuckers don't know shit about life. You're
Voting
gonna
time.
die.
Time to vote.
Yep. I'm going with Child's Play.
What's your reason? We could do a
Texas
quick
Chainsaw
little.
didn't age good with me, and I kind of favor Child's Play more.
Joey?
I have to say this is a horror. This is horror, right? I don't think Child's Play was very scary at all. If anything, even though it was maybe a little more entertaining front to back, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just horror. It's like when that dude finally shows up, you're like, oh shit is going down. Shoving them in freezers, cannibalism.
Quick.
Texas Chainsaw
You're
Massacre.
talking for hours. Yeah,
Booch?
I'm voting Texas Chainsaw. Not because of horror, because I to me these are just Halloween movies to watch. They're thriller, horror within those themes. For me, it's a better front to back movie. The writing's better, the acting's better. It is scarier. I was tense. It made me feel things. Chucky was funny to me. So.
Yeah, I think pretty much the same reason as Pucho. I think that the story's a little bit more cohesive in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think they did way more wild things with Child's Play in the reboot that they just did, which is real fucking good, and you should watch it. You haven't seen the remake of it. That would have been a tighter competition for me, but yeah, I got to go Chainsaw.
All right. Well, Chainsaw is the victorious.
Looks like you got to go to the barbecue spot. So.
Yeah, I'll be right in line. Next on our tournament of pleasure, not really, but of horror, It Follows versus Nightmare on Elm Street.
Starting now.
All right, I just want to say, why the fuck did the mom kiss her high school daughter right on the lips? I found that shit strange. She
Bro.
sent her off to school with a big smooch on the lips. I was like, it's like, damn, even white people do this.
Weird.
I didn't think this
Weird.
happened. I'm out of the loop on this, but I was like, it's very strange.
Yeah, that shit was. I saw that too, and I was like, damn, they need to watch our 1UP episode where we talk about this kissing on the mouth shit with kids and parents. Shit is weird.
Anyways, It Follows. That was cool. It's like a succubus, succubus. I forget which
Yeah.
one. It was a dick demon. You give someone the dick, you got a demon on your back.
That's why I love this so much. Cock, dick, pussy. It's all cool.
Nightmare on Elm Street, better and worse than I remember.
Yeah.
It was the moments that were bad were so bad. The scenes that were good were better than I thought they'd be. And the ending was atrocious. I don't even know what happened in the end. Shit made no sense to me whatsoever.
It made no sense. They got in a car and then
And they just like drive off.
Why is it so foggy?
Mom gets killed, and you're like, all right, is she in a dream? Is she not? Like, I don't know.
They're
Friends
dreaming.
alive? I don't know. Should very strange.
2 movies, by the way. Nightmare on Elm Street, It Follows. White people exclusive in both of them. I'm like, yo, it's 2014, bro. Can you add a black actor or Spanish or something? This white plight shit.
Yeah, even It Follows 2014, all white people. It stuck out like a sore thumb to me. But
Why the fuck did they throw this bitch in the pool? Mad electronics on the edge of it. What was the point?
I saw that and I was shocked. I'm like, yo, first off, I would have been like, yo, get all this shit away from the water before. You know what I mean? It's just dumb shit. The movies back in the days, the way they set shit up, it's so obvious and so fucking, oh my God, like, I'm gonna go in the pool, look at, oh, there's a fucking open electricity circuit or some bullshit. Oh, it's not gonna kill me. I hate that shit.
They were trying. Yeah, they were trying to kill the demon is what they were going for.
Yeah, but how? But what was the point of having the electronics near the water?
Because you can shock it, like electricity.
I think the plan was they assumed that the demon would just follow the girl, like it has been the whole movie, and just get into the water. But then he didn't. And then when he threw the TV in the pool, and it did like a little electricity thing, but it didn't shock her. That's why they also said, "Oh, the plan isn't gonna work anyways." Like they kind of made that comment. Mind you, I was gonna say the only smart thing anybody did in that entire fucking movie, the guy going and fucking the prostitute.
Oh, I thought you
Kind
meant
of.
I thought you meant the sheet over the head.
The sheet
because-
was smart. The sheet was
That's
very
wh-
smart.
Wait, why is that the smartest thing? Fucking the prostitute?
Well, because the whole movie they weren't trying to like solve the problems; they were just kind of dealing with the problem. And I'm not out here saying like, you know, killing prostitutes are okay or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's like you're gonna die. You got to pick other people to die, and you're on mute doing, and you got to have sex. And the only people that are readily available to have sex with you are prostitutes. So it just seems logical that you would go and have sex with a prostitute.
I think the prostitute might be safe actually. And I'm not positive he actually went through and had sex with the prostitute because they were being followed at the end. At the very end of the movie, it was him. Like he was being followed by himself, so it was taking the form of the boy. I can't remember his name. But I feel like having sex with the prostitute would actually be safe because she would spread it to whoever from her various clientele that day/night, right? And let's say one of them dies, and then she spreads it to another clientele the next day. Like she's got a buffer going on there.
Perfect succubus pussy.
Yeah.
Yo, by the way, what year is this movie in? Because I couldn't figure it out. It has to be somewhere in the 2000s.
They made it purposely out of time. That's why the girl has the weird seashell like e-reader thing, but then they have like old school TVs, and then the cars are modern, and some cars are old. Like it's supposed to be kind of just not able to be placed anywhere.
Cool.
Yeah, it mostly felt like you remove the e-reader and it'll take place like in the 80s or the 90s. Like just the fact that nobody has cell phones and things like that. I don't know. It seemed of that era. But anyway, Sonny, this movie came out in 2014. And you said these old movies. This shit came out the other day.
But I was saying both of them as like Nightmare on Elm Street mostly. Like
really quick, what was up with the pervy neighbor? This little pervy kid that was the neighbor with the bicycle. This is like constantly trying to look at this chick. It's some weirdo shit.
Are you talking about the little doughboy?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That weird elements in it. I did like follow a little bit. They just lost me with some of the shit. Like I was just like, I could see how in 2000 when it dropped, like how this shit could be hot or scary, but that shit, it's much newer than Nightmare on Elm Street, and that shit didn't age well. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Because Up Yours with a twirling lawnmower definitely aged better than It Follows.
Yeah, I love the guy shouting.
It didn't age well.
Fruitcake man. I was like, what is he even talking about? Who even insinuated that?
So all the relationships in Nightmare on Elm Street were real weird though, right? Like he was just a dick. Like he was a terrible boyfriend. And then what's his name? Poor not Robert Downey Jr. Johnny Depp.
Dude, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp, like the girl wouldn't even like kiss him. He had to sleep on the couch downstairs.
That's me. I'm Johnny Depp.
She's religious. You didn't see she had Jesus by her side. She didn't need that, man.
She is one of the worst actors by far in that entire movie.
You think?
Yo, by the way, this bitch was shouting Freddy Krueger's name. The mom just kept it a secret. The dad couldn't even told her. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
They're not allowed to talk about it, though.
No
hey,
snitches.
Policeman, call my father. 10 minutes later, the cop was like, I think I should go inside and get her father.
That shit was beast. Yo, that shit was hilarious because, she's screaming, call my dad, call my dad. And then she's fighting with Freddy. She comes back. You're not calling him. She's breaking all the windows. Then she goes back in the house, lights the house on fire, goes to the front door, breaks more windows, and then it pans back to him, and he's just in the same spot. He's like, I think I should get her dad. I'm like, what a piece of shit.
All that shit went down. He was debating the whole time.
Yo, listen, he's not the piece of shit. She let her dad know. She said, Dad, come to the house in 20 minutes. This nigga said, fuck you, bitch.
She let him know twice.
That nigga didn't want no smoke with that. He was like, you know what? It's your time.
Yo, what about
those parents? They weren't snitches though. They kept that shit secret as long as possible.
That's a fact.
Yo, how about she threw herself out of a fucking window to get away from Freddy the first time? She jumped out of her window,
Yo.
and it was so weird.
Like, and then she landed. Like, bro. Those
Because
movies,
how
my
else were
nigga.
they supposed to take her out of the boiler room to her house to get all the booby traps? Those booby traps were weak as fuck.
There was some Home Alone shit right there.
Yeah.
Some Home Alone shit
Home
was
had better
weak.
shit. Them shits is weaker than Home Alone shit.
You do notice that she jumped out her window very similarly to the girl in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where they just jumped at the window and the whole frame and everything just shattered. Right.
What about in Chucky, the
Oh.
first death? I'm like, yo, she got hit by the smallest hammer in the world and
the
proceeded
toy
to
hammer?
run through a window.
The toy hammer. It was the
but
hammer that the kid got in the toy
That shit
pack.
could have caught her off balance. You don't know that. Like,
1 minute warning.
yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street is still fire though. Better than the
Not-
follows, but
The one scene I did like, honorable moments, when she pulled Freddy Krueger's face and then like the skeleton. I was like, that's good VFX. That's really good.
that's the
like,
best they
visual
were gonna
effects.
get at that time.
And the upside down bedroom with Johnny Depp,
Oh.
1,000 gallons of blood falling out. That shit was like, that was pretty cool.
That's a cool scene.
Yeah,
That's a classic scene.
I
Yeah.
wonder how much. You think it was 1,000 gallons?
it's a lot of
Yeah.
fucking fake blood.
Here is one thing that cracked me up in the movie. When Johnny Depp's asleep before he dies, and the mom comes in and wakes him up and then tells him he should go to sleep
Oh,
because it's late.
that bitch is dumb. It's like, bro,
I mean-
seriously?
She woke him up to say, "How are you listening to music and watching TV at the same time? You should go to sleep." What the fuck do you think I was doing, Mom?
Okay,
Dumbass.
we ready to vote?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. I'll start us off. We'll go backwards order this time, or I guess that way. I can always mix up which way we're going on the camera. I got to go. It follows. I don't find Freddy's antics scary. I think that a lot of the tension and buildup is good, and I love the scenes. Like I said, that blood scene is amazing. One of my favorite like horror scenes of all time. But I think It Follows just has a little better story, better like bad guy. Booch.
Yeah. Also, Tina getting dragged up the ceiling. That was pretty cool.
I was gonna say that the effects on that looked amazing. It didn't look. Yeah, I wonder how they did it. It almost it looked like they put the room sideways so that she could go up the wall, and then she only partially went on the ceiling while still leaning on the floor, which is it looked like they did some cool camera trickery to pull that scene off. I'm torn here because I love the premise of It Follows, but overall, I felt like it was okay.
Yeah,
And I
the
feel like Freddy
execution.
was bad, but the peaks of Freddy, the funny parts, and like how stupid, how bad it was, it made me laugh a lot. So I'm gonna go with Freddy.
Ooh,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tony.
Wow.
I am definitely gonna go with Freddy. I'd never up until when we did this thing, I'd never even seen It Follows, and going to watch it for the first time, and I'm good.
Dope.
Shit.
Yeah, It Follows. Succubus dick pussy all day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was
So-
Nightmare on Elm Street was insufferably bad to me. The acting was just like, oh
If there was one pussy shot, you would have been loving it.
no. There was so many white bare feet that it just was like, oh dude, put some sandals on. Put some
Oh.
socks on. It's just white feet
'Cause
all over the place. in
Sandals
that
would have
movie.
made it look way better.
I don't know.
So-
I just could not stand people being in their bare feet.
She
So
did
we've got-
walk into the alley barefoot. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
So we've got our first tie, and I'd have a plan in place for this. If this fails, we're going to odds and evens.
Okay.
But we got one more vote to do then to figure out which one's moving on. Which one of these two movies, like movie bad guys, movie evil things, antagonists, would you least want to face? Which one do you think you wouldn't be able to survive?
Freddy.
Oh, Freddy Krueger.
Joey?
Freddy's gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, I think Freddy. I think It Follows is easier to escape the demon than you think. Just move. Just rent a second apartment. Just move.
But you
All
can't
it can
go to
do is
sleep, bro.
walk.
You literally
but then
can't
you-
go to sleep.
Bang somebody. That's
And
it.
for Freddy, like you can't sleep. Like you're gonna have to sleep one of these days. You're gonna have to face your nightmare one of these days. Like you know what I mean? So it's just like that's the worst.
Yo,
I wouldn't want to
tell
fight
me
that.
how in It Follows they went to the rapist's house and never charged him for anything that he did. Just left
He
him
didn't
alone.
rape her.
It was
Bro,
zero.
he chloroformed her, and after he's had sex, but
No,
he
he had
chloroformed
sex
her.
with her already, and then he did her a favor. He kidnapped her to fully explain the situation to her. He could have just dipped like a chip. Really, he was doing himself a favor because if she just got killed, then it would have been chasing him. But I'm just saying, he kidnapped her. Horrible shit. He did a horrible thing, but he ain't a rapist. All right,
Damn,
use the
damn it.
right words.
Damn, we've got a new intentions matter like subject right here.
Shit is beast.